しがわけない私が与えるディサレイ No escape to be alive このドミネーションには戻れない場所まで高く高く舞う黒しれペネプレッション wide and free 言葉にできないくらい可能性の果てに恨むように散る頭だよ Join the crowd to be the one 何かをなすためなら力こそ全てと私が信じる夢の牙 I'm leaving all behind まだ知らない自分へと時々きらめくおびただしい嘘は影を映せと私にがりの孤独風に乗せた向こうを笑うレイメイ I want to be everlasting ここで君はゲームオフありふれた名前は Like a misery 望むならこれが注射券黒に落ちて All you got is this rain How today I believe in the one ありふれた未来は Like a misery ここにある全てかけて You made it right How the hell can I run to the place where we share it down to 誇れることにして血をかけ合うような見つまらない No escape to be alive 最後に笑うために幾千を飛び越え高く高く舞う黒しれ Pain the pressure wide and free 全てを飲み込むほど時すでにジエンド呆れるほどの力の前に I see you run away 全て尽くせ命を支配こそ全てと今に響く名を見届けよう私が信じる夢の牙 I'm leaving all behind まだ知らない自分へと時々きらめくおびただしい嘘は影を映せと私にがりの孤独風に乗せた向こうを笑うレイメイ I want to be everlasting ここで君はゲームオフありふれた名前は Like a misery 望むならこれが注射券黒に落ちて All you got is this rain
Alright. Hi everyone. Let's see here. Yep, we're gonna do Sunday TRS again. Last week I think we missed it. Did we miss it? I don't even remember. But, yeah. Gastari was out for yesterday's TRS, but, we're just gonna keep going. We have in the schedule Dagov's run at the end here. I'm hoping that he's able to show up at least, hopefully near the end of today's TRS so that he can commentate his own run as he wished to. But we've got 3 UFO runs today, all of them UFO survival, so I've spaced them out as much as possible. Let's get through it. Alright, let's get the UFO up. Oh, the game crashed. Brilliant. One sec. Hello? Oh my god, game please. Okay. Alright. Slight hiccup, but let's check the notes on this run. Alright, skip the usual. Maybe if I learned the stage layout, I wouldn't summon the wrong UFO. Shout out to all rainbow UFOs in point item sections. Also, I played too many new games, so I didn't know that you couldn't poke with a bomb. Silly mistake. Looks like a pretty standard UFO normal 1cc, just judging from that. So, let's get into it. Marissa A is an interesting choice for UFO survival, but it's definitely workable. Yeah, that's 1cc score is actually really high, so I'm not sure if this is gonna be like some basic level survival or if it's just a really cleanly performed 1cc, so we will see. Blue. That's a lot of confidence at least. These are really? There's actually just no reason to summon a blue for survival. Because really there's not many sections in the game where you're forced like 2 or more blue tokens. Usually it's rainbows. So unless you accidentally pick up stuff and then you're like end up having to trade off having 2 rainbow and 1 blue into 1 rainbow, then there's really no reason to pick up blues other than just bad timing, frankly. The UFO cycles always go from blue to green to red, so if you do miss picking up the red UFO, then you can end up getting blues by accident. But I feel like that's not something... I guess... Oh god, well, yeah, I'm definitely seeing it now. Yeah, so they're gonna have to wait for a red here from the... not gonna summon? I mean... Okay, this UFO routing actually just doesn't look good at all. It looks like they don't really know how to collect the tokens in time properly, so they end up collecting the wrong token a lot. Blue again. I mean, at least their survival looks good, so if they've been intending to pick up the blue tokens the whole time, then, you know, they actually are going to score decently, though they're not doing any of the PIV tricks that like a serious score run would. Looks like, okay, they are actually going for blues intentionally then. But yeah, without building up PIV in any significant way, because frankly they haven't even been picking up the UFO tokens for PIV that much, so the PIV is going to be quite low, and as a result the score gain isn't as high as like what you would have in a more serious score run than this. So it does look like some level of survival then. But with that in mind, then they're going to be fairly tight on resources, because UFO is a game that's just like that. You sacrifice resources for score gain and vice versa. I should skip Treasure in actually. The dodging looks good at least. The survival level is there, so they're able to dodge like at a fairly high level for normal mode. Other than that one death in stage 2, which I wasn't sure what that was about, but you know, mistakes do happen sometimes, and sometimes you can just carry, keep a run going despite those mistakes. Looks like they're actually gonna start going for. Okay, would not have gone for that summon for sure. And it's also kind of puzzling that they're going for that now as opposed to earlier stages where you would want to... I guess it's fine. Go for a blue. Yeah, they're actually just really confident, and they want to keep picking up the blues for score. Yeah, this isn't the 1cc that I was expecting, but they are making some questionable dodging decisions, but overall their dodging skill is quite good. So I am fully expecting like a fairly comfortable level of resources going into later stages. I mean, at least they do seem to be aware of like the scoring mechanics, where you have to pick up blue tokens, summon blue UFOs, get point items inside those blue UFOs. The comment themselves already mentioned that they keep summoning rainbows in places with point items instead of... Oh no, no! That hurts. That really hurts. Come on, if you wanted the rainbow you need to pick it up actively? Yeah, just it's fine, it's still times 4.0. But they lost a fair amount of point items there because of that. Yeah, there's like definitely quite little UFO routing done for the actual run. Some of the stage sections feel improvised, and in general the token grabbing is not ideal. So this is survival. The dodging is fine. So far they've made only 2 mistakes so far. Yeah, definitely way above a 1cc level, because for 1cc level you wouldn't even like... You'd start having trouble dodging Ichirin patterns, which they didn't, clearly. So they definitely have the skills to get a comfortable survival clear. They're just trying to incorporate more scoring into the run, which I can appreciate that, but kind of would be good to learn the stages like a lot more, because that's pretty much the bulk of UFO scoring. Okay. Oh, alright, that's fine. Do they have a route for these nons, or is this just Gorilla? It looks like Gorilla to me. Alright. Phantom Harbor. Yeah, again, the dodging looks like very good. This is definitely at least normal no bomb level dodging, if not like no miss, no bomb tier. But let's see. Sho and Byakuran are not that difficult, so I do fully expect that they'll be able to do very well on those boss fights as well with this level of dodging. Looks like they're trying. This is a very scuffle corner strat for normal. Never mind, it's definitely not going for 4 corners then. I mean, if you want to do the grace at the beginning of the spell, then it's gonna be much harder to set it up properly. And on normal, the spell moves just slowly enough that the Lunatic 4 corner strat doesn't work properly, so you have to adapt it slightly. But never mind, that still works. And no, the 4 corner, there is a way to do it for normal. It's just not like how you would do it on Lunatic, and the timing is a little funkier. But there is definitely a way of doing it. Alright, summoning a rainbow here. Are they not going for... Oh, they are going for blues. Yeah. So many items! That's the thing, if you don't route stage sections, then trying to do UFO scoring is like a crapshoot, pretty much. Also, this should have been a rainbow. Oh my god, what is this? Never mind. Yeah, if you don't know how to do stage sections, then pretty much you have no real way of like scoring in a very consistent way, because I mean, just look at this. They're summoning a rainbow on a section where there's just point items, so yeah, that's a huge score loss. Didn't even collect the blue, oh my god. Okay, that's acceptable, just bombing this, but they paused too much during dialogue already, so they're still going to lose some extra waves of enemies, and they don't have a UFO summon to go into the post-mid-boss section. Ah! GT. Oh, they missed the life piece. They have to summon a red if they want this life now. At least I'm pretty sure they do. Rainbow, sure. I mean, they have enough resources to clear, even without this 4th life, assuming they keep up the survival. What is this? Alright, that's fine, that's fine. But pick up these tokens. Oh my god. Please stop leaking. E? I can't say it was a total disaster because they did get some good summons, but this is very, very gorilla tier scoring is the only way I can describe it. And UFO is not a very good gorilla scoring game. I mean, let's say hypothetically you wanted to focus entirely on you didn't want to do any graces on bosses, you don't want to build up the PIV too high, too seriously. Well, okay. And you just want to focus on 1CCing first and foremost, and then getting good boss performances, so you want to cap spells and Show Nonce who is just like that on every difficulty. You want to do well on bosses, so you want to cap spells, you want to do stages properly, but I mean, they're clearly not like really doing the stages very well because they're dropping a lot of items, and the UFO summons are far from optimal. In fact, quite a few UFO summons are missed. So there's definitely room for improvement if they want to go for a higher score. But I can definitely see like this sort of thing just being, you know, fun to go for. Also, you can't just spin and safe slot this, so There really isn't any reason not to, other than like there's no reason to bomb this rather than doing the safe spot. Also, I haven't been keeping track, but I have to assume that they're making advantage of Mercer A's damage bug with starting unfocused. If not, they're missing out on a huge chunk of damage, which they don't appear to be doing. Yeah, the damage does seem to be fairly high, so I do have to assume that, you know, they're doing the bug properly. Okay, for those of you who don't know how the damage bug works, Mercer's laser damage is supposed to change when you change between focused and unfocused. But, oh, they lost the bug here actually. So, what happens is that if you start firing unfocused, the damage is higher than the focused laser. If you start firing unfocused and wait like a second or so before going into focus, then you can preserve this unfocused damage with the focused lasers, which lets you deal significantly more damage than if you just started firing when focused. So that's how you can eke out even more damage than usual using Mercer. And also, one item short. Oh my god! No! 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 Kill the one on the side! They barely filled that. Oh my god. Alright, summon your blues. It's better to summon... Okay, not better per se, but the summons of greens on this stage is very natural because there's just a lot of green tokens, but if you want to do scoring, then you do have to go for these blues. But without 4 power, Mercer A does somewhat struggle to kill these enemies off consistently. So, why pick that up? You need that for Newable! No, you need that for Newable! Okay. Okay, they're just gonna be... this is painful. I guess they... it is acceptable to, like, not summon for Newable if you don't know what you're doing, I guess. Or rather, it's expected to not summon for Newable if you don't know what you're doing, because it can go much worse. Though, again, they lost a huge chunk of score from not doing Newable. Even despite everything else. But the fact that they didn't go for any resource summons other than that green at the start, which was practically forced on them, means that they're very confident at doing the Byakuran fight. So we will see how well they do here. Okay, okay, what is this? Alright. Omen capped. Second on, how do they do this? I mean, there's pretty much only one way to do it on normal, which is just staying in the middle. Hopefully they have a route for Magic Butterfly. Oh, sorry, it's Makai Butterfly on normal. Okay. Second, okay, third non is, okay, yeah, they got walled. Third non is the hardest part of the Byakuran fight for normal. In my opinion, it's just oddly dense and awkward. Yeah, you don't dodge banana lasers at that height. I think you have to stay at a different height and adjust accordingly as well. Final non should be easy enough. Mercer A can do a lot of damage very fast, so you don't have to follow that tight. But it is worth noting that Mercer still has her fattest hitbox in this phase of Touhou. So the micros are just slightly more difficult than usual. though it's probably not that noticeable for normal mode. Also, what are they doing with these unfocuses? Doesn't look like they're comfortable doing the misdirect on the bubbles. Misdirecting the bubble down the middle of DR is like the worst thing you can do, pretty much. With bad timing, you end up forcing yourself to do a very uncomfortable micro. But that's a nice cap. Alright, air scroll. Generally it should be just better to stay on one side and damage it. That makes the dodging a lot easier, and you can focus on just you can focus on the dodging and still do I think almost all of the damage that you can really do on air scroll. So if you just stay on the left here, oh, never mind, it's gonna have to follow on the right, but that should be a cap. And then LFS or just F, Flying Fantastica on normal. So Flying Fantastica is it's a routable pattern. The waves are sort of aimed in your direction based on where you are on screen, even your vertical height. So based on that, you can formulate a consistent route, but there are still going to be some awkward dodges no matter how you go about it, because of just how the spell works. What is this? Alright, nice cap. Definitely, this player is definitely more than capable of normal 1cc. I have to wager at least hard 1cc, if not lunatic. But yeah, if you want to do more scoring in this game, which you already did a pretty impressive score 5 run here, but if you want to go harder in the scoring, then I would suggest definitely learning the stages at least. The UFO summons are the entire scoring system for UFOs, so they only apply during stages, so that's pretty much the only thing that you really need to learn. PIV accumulation wise, you get that from just picking up tokens. There was one token that you missed in stage 2, the off-screen token, which actually I'm not sure you can get it with Mercer. But other than that, some grazers, which I guess there's really no need to go for at this level yet. So yeah, really nice run, very clean survival wise. Though the scoring, yeah, if you want to go for more level of scoring, higher level of scoring, then there's definitely room for improvement. So yeah, GG's. We're gonna go on to our next run here, which is going to be let me have a look. We have an essay normal run. The schedule command is updated for those of you that want to check. The shot type specified is Marissa B. Sorry for the coughing, but I have not fully recovered from COVID yet, so you're just gonna have to deal with it. Is this too loud? Alright, this is our only essay run of the day. Oh, that's not a clear. We're gonna have to see how this dies then. Let's get into it. Let me check the notes while stage 1 plays out. Actually I should fast forward as well, but nothing. Alright, there's no notes here other than just a reminder of a desync bug, which actually only happens if you start the replay in stage 6. Or fast forward too much through stage 5. But yeah, we're just gonna fast forward through the early game, there's no issues here. But yeah, place your bets on where this run dies because it does not clear. Yamame was nice. Looks like they're actually using the water shot for bosses, which is fine. Mercer B's damage is not so great from afar. Especially, this is pretty relevant for boss fights, where if you don't know how to do shotgun strats and stuff, then you can end up taking a very long time. Water has the nice compromise of being okay for damage while having a lot of range. But fire will do slightly more damage overall, I think, if you can keep it on the bosses. But ideally for boss fights, for damage wise, you still want to like use wood shotgun or use the back shot. Oh, nice bomb. Though of course Mercer B's advantage is just that she has the easiest stages of everyone in the game. If you know how to do them, of course. The different arrangements that you have available can handle pretty much every single stage section in the game, no matter what. And reading dialogue, I see. Shackles, easy enough. Alright, this one is pretty simple. Not confident with the bubble micro. I can see, I can understand that with Marissa's hitbox in this game. Oh, but no, don't do that for this non. Oh, yeah, for this non, you have to start at the bottom. You can't move too much, otherwise you're just going to get boned by the reflecting bullets off of the side. Alright. Shouldn't have any issues with this. It's quite tame on normal. Alright. Stage 4. Only 2 power, so this is a little bit sketchy. But Water Shot has enough spread to make it fairly comfortable still. Ideally, to do optimal stage control, you will want to use a mix of the horizontal shot, I think, and the wood shot. The horizontal shot just can kill off all of the big fairies before they even get the fire off. But without max power, it's probably best to just stick to the bottom and use spread shot to clean out these Mentos firing fairies on the sides. Though it doesn't really do that much, honestly. Also, spread can help to clean off these yin yang lasers before they wall you in. Okay, max power is back, and we're gonna stick to water for the second mid-non, which will definitely make this significantly easier when you don't have to deal with pretty much any of these suicide bullets. Alright, kill, nice. Post mid-boss section is only a little bit of streaming, and then we're off to the second half of the stage, where the spread shot still just does wonders. Yeah, this is actually so far no miss in the stage 4, which is interesting. But I will say that okay, nice bomb. Of all of the shots that can train wreck the hardest, it would have to be Mercer B, because if Mercer B's bomb is the weakest in the game if you can't like do it in advance. So if you don't do any like planned bombs to skip patterns and stuff, you are going to do next to, well, not next to no damage, you are going to do no damage with the bomb, just doing survival bombs. So you have to either plan in advance or you have to learn boss patterns. Otherwise, if you just panic bomb everywhere, you're gonna lose power really fast, and then you're not gonna do any damage, not gonna be able to skip patterns, and then train wreck from there. So Mercer B is going to have the biggest problems if you like are unfamiliar with a part of the game. If you're grinding for normal 1cc's, then there's a tendency where you're going to you're going to get quite comfortable and familiar with the early game, but then if you don't specifically go practice late game, you can be quite unfamiliar and then like die pretty hard. It's even worse in SA, where there's a lot of sections a lot of patterns which you do need to at least route a little bit to like cap or have any chance of capping. So that's how I expect this run to die, with just not knowing how to do late game patterns and then like dying to the boss fights, not getting the life pieces in late game, and then the snowball just dying from there. Because this is snowballing so far. It's 7 lives going to Satori, which is a lot. Please stop reading dialogue. Alright. Satori nuns are always uncomfortable with Marissa, no matter the difficulty, but they should be fine. Alright, Terrible Slovenia. It's quite lax on normal. You don't even have to do any like special dodges or anything. You can just kinda sit at the bottom and dodge. I wouldn't say that one was really necessary, but that's fine. You're just sticking to the water shot. I mean, if you're not comfortable with doing switching, and it is a lot of switching involved, if you have to like, you have to do shift fire 4 times to cycle between water and fire. So, like, sticking to water is fine. The boss damage is a little lacking, but otherwise still manageable. If you're really not comfortable with doing the switching, then sticking to water is okay. It's decent. They did use fire earlier, but that was mainly because that spell practically requires that you do not use a spread shot. Otherwise, if you hit the wrong posse, then you're going to fire off a lot more extra bubbles, which is definitely not how you want to do that spell. Oh, that's really unfortunate. That could have been entirely avoided. The whole spell is just streaming at this point. Okay, Philosopher's Stone is a little bit messy, but it's actually quite low dense. Never mind. Come on, okay, that dodge was a little sketchy. Down? Never mind, that's a second bomb. But only 1 power now, which means they're going to even struggle to kill off the pattern. Alright, RNG was free enough. Okay, 2 power for stage 5. This is where the train wreck can begin. That death earlier on Princess Undine, that was really unfortunate, but just that alone, 1 death alone can set off a chain reaction. 1 bad boss fight alone can set off a pretty bad chain reaction in this game. We're gonna have to see if they know how to do stage 5, which, well, really no attempt to get your power back? If you shoot here, you can get power items, which you'd think you'd want, because it is just simple streaming. Okay. Oh, they switched back to fire. Never mind. What was the point of that? Might have been an accidental switch, actually. They don't really know how to do this, do they? Well, even if they did, their power is really low, which means they... I mean, most of the damage that you do with water is going to be with the main shot, actually, which isn't particularly affected. Okay, not firing here is fine. But it means they're gonna have 1 powerful Orange mid boss, which is very bad. I kind of feel like this is where the train wreck's gonna begin. Oh, this movement, it doesn't feel very confident. Force catwalk skip? No, not necessarily. You can still do enough damage to kill off the nons. Especially, I mean, the second non, you're not even gonna move that much, so... Alright, that's a nice second non. And then Catwalk. Catwalk is... Okay, that's a good bomb. Yep, that's a really nice bomb, but now you have no power, so you have to just use the main shot. But I don't know if you guys know this, but in general in Touhou, the higher your... I could have dodged that, but never mind. In general in Touhou, the higher your shot power, the less damage your main shot actually deals. You can think of it as like, overall there's a damage increase, but you reallocate some of your power from the main shot into the side shots, which on some patterns, especially if you're using water shot like this, can actually lead to less damage being dealt with higher levels of power. The main shot on 0 power actually does like a decent amount of damage on its own. It's not enough, usually, for legging stage sections, but it's going to still do like a fair amount. Give me a second, I have to Alright, they're doing the safe spot for the first non, which is good. It's good. Let's say fast forward through this. No. If you're gonna do the save spot, then you at least have to understand why you're doing the save spot in the first place, which is to use the brief period of time at the beginning of the spell to lure the fairies upwards, so that you don't have to do all this movement, extra movement, once the spell actually begins. But it ended up working out anyway, because Orin barely fires anything on normal, so I guess that's fine. Okay, this is going to be a problem. If you don't switch away from water, then you're going to accidentally end up killing these side spirits, which can interfere with you trying to dodge the rest of the pattern. Oh, this is really bad. I mean, honestly, this is kind of what I expected, where like, the later in the game you go, the less familiar you end up being with, like, the game as a whole. But even so, at least they know how to dodge this, which is nice. Life piece. Okay. Back to 6 lives. Doesn't know how to dodge this pattern. Oh no. Oh no. Gonna be on the bomb, yeah. 0 power and then okay, dodge to the right. Come on. Alright. Definitely going to die to Needle Mountain, but probably was going to die anyway, so was good to cap the previous non regardless. Yep. If I were you, if I was in this position, I would actually just release a bomb on Orin. Let's straight up use the bomb on Orin, because this is going to be what happens if you try to dodge this at the bottom. And then you have no power again, and you have to try to chip off this last bit of health, and yeah. It's, with Mercer B, you have to learn to cut your losses sometimes. If you die too early in a spell, and you're not able to like dodge the spell in any way, then you have to make use of your bombs, like incredible shotgun damage, to end the spell before you suffer even greater losses, which they died twice on Needle Mountain for no good reason, pretty much. But at least they knew to just shotgun bomb on the final, so not too bad, but it looks like they don't really have any planned bombs other than that Orange final, so It's gonna be really bad on Utsuho if this keeps up. Okay, stage 6. Doesn't look like they know how to do restreaming comfortably, so it's just bombing. I'd have to just wager that they don't know how to do Utsuho patterns. I mean, with Marissa B, sticking to water is generally a sign that they're not really comfortable with like using a forward focus shot. And again, it's okay. It's okay, but it's not great. Dying to Blazing Wheel is bad. Yeah, sticking to water shows that like they're not comfortable with dodging the boss patterns, or they're not comfortable with like. I mean, they knew how to switch to fire for Boab Ghost, so I have to wager that they just really don't know how to dodge boss patterns. Bomb is fine. Yeah, gonna get the power back anyway, but see, when they switch back to water, it just means that they really don't know how to dodge the boss patterns, like, or they don't know how to stay underneath the bosses to take advantage of the fire. Which, it doesn't make sense when it comes to patterns like Utsuho's first non, where you're going to be under the boss and not moving. It makes more sense for stuff like UNR, I guess. For Pedaflare, I can see that. But you do want to, like, how do I put this? You do at least want to take advantage of the greater firepower sometimes, right? Alright, first non. It's gonna be really surprising if they die to this. It's just such an easy non regardless of whether you know what you're doing or not. Alright, first non cap. So now we have you and I guess nuke just NR for normal. Micro, okay. Good wave. Why move there? Okay. No. It's fine. No, you were past that. Why do you bomb? Oh no. Right. Some bad waves there, but no, all the power. I think the life piece was dropped there. Alright, so with with this non on normal, you kind of have to just dodge at the bottom, but the lanes you should be able to read it. Never mind, the leftover bullets killed you off. Water is the best overall shot for like inexperienced Mercer-B use. But fire does do more damage, so if you know that you can stay underneath a boss pattern, there's like almost no reason not to switch to fire. I do know that like switching is very tedious because it's 4 switches from water to fire, but yeah, especially with this like bombing habit, Since you, I mean, if you, I can understand why you're bombing like this if you cleared with Raymus and Marissa's, because because those bombs you can just use anywhere and they're still good. But with Marissa A alone, like just from Marissa A alone, bombing on top of bosses deals way more damage. So it's even more relevant with Marissa B. You have to plan some bombs on patterns that you know that you're weak on. Otherwise your bomb's just not gonna do anything, and then your reduced shot power cannot finish off the pattern. Please use the save spot. It's not a very hard pattern regardless, but please use the save spot. Wood shotgun is the green diagonal, forward and then diagonal left, diagonal right. The shotgun on that deals a huge amount of damage. The horizontal shot can clean out stage sections very cleanly as well. On stage 4 for instance, and on stage 6 the post mid-boss section. But yeah, that was a really bad TES. If they can get through this non, at least they're gonna get one more life, which means one life for Tokamak and then the final, which they are gonna get. Okay, so Tokamak is best done on one side and not the middle. Okay. Bomb, and then just do another point blank bomb. It's got too much health. But even so, yep, good. Oh god, it's got so much health. This is fine. Okay, that bomb is fine. You're gonna get the power back anyway. Okay, switching the fire here is smart. Oh no. It's gonna have to be an accidental death. I just don't see how you failed. You have 4 bombs for Sub-Sun. It has to be an accidental death. Sub-Sun is one of those patterns where if you like aren't paying full attention, or like you're not fully aware of the bullets around you, it can be very easy to just steer into a bullet and not realize it and not death bomb in time. So the movement on the movement that you're doing is really sketchy. Oh, it's gonna be dying to not knowing how to dodge Sub-Sun. Oh no. Move to the right, okay, down, left. Okay, really close to that bullet, but it's fine so far. Left, okay, that's fine. Left, yes, middle. Okay, move out, no! The suction level of the final phase of Sub-Sun is really high, which you have to use unfocused movement to overcome. And if you don't do that, what we just saw can happen. And you lose your 1cc right there. But really, Sub-Sun is a final spell. It's a really long spell. You can expect to lose a life to it. So it's not unreasonable to expect like dying to Sub-Sun. But what was not expected was dying to TES when you have a horizontal safe line on that spell. Like, it just takes a little bit of practice, not even that much, just like 2 or 3 attempts to figure out where this line is, and then you're pretty much set for that pattern the whole way through. It makes TS so much simpler. I mean, I can just show you right now. Even if you use Mercer, even if you use water on here, you just need to like be here, this height, and the suns cannot hit you. And then all you have to do is to just dodge these yellow bullets. And even better, if you switch to fire here, your fire shot is going to hit the boss. So yeah, like if you just do this strat, there's no reason for you to have lost that 1 CC. So it's really unfortunate that like you didn't do this safe strat. And well, frankly, there were other parts in the run as well where there were some unfortunate deaths. But yeah, that was just a really unfortunate game over the sub-sun. You already got through the whole spell, it's just that you didn't unfocus in time. Other than that, the double death to Needle Mountain was also unnecessary. Could have just bombed on top of Orin during those iframes, because Needle Mountain is one of those spells that you know you cannot dodge, even if you tried, and your bomb does no damage from afar, so it's better to just cut your losses, use one extra power, and deal as much damage to the spell as possible before those iframes run out. But yeah, if you already got the 1cc of your other shot types, there's really no reason for you not to get the Mercer B 1cc. I'm very certain that you'll get it soon, if you just go for it. If you want to go for all shot 1cc, then the last shot after this is gonna be Mercy, which is not fun, so good luck with that when you get to it. Alright, that was SA Normal. We're gonna move on now to Noveka's run of UFO Hard with Sanaebi. We have 3 UFO runs, so I've tried to split them up as much as possible, but otherwise, yeah, we're gonna have a lot of UFO survival. You've gotten all of that? Alright, nice, yeah. But there's just some really unfortunate points in that run, though I can see why you submitted it. We don't really see that many hard mode replays because it is true that hard is like this intermediary difficulty that most people will be able to get through fairly quickly. But hard mode is cool in its own right. Alright, let's check the run notes. Third game I tried to get the hard 1cc on. Alright. So, Sanaebi. For those of you who are not so familiar with UFO, Sanaebi is generally considered to be the best survival shot for the game, for 1cc. It's for a multitude of reasons. The first is that the shot itself has splash damage. The frogs will explode on impact, which allows it to handle stage sections in this game very well. There's a lot of enemy spam waves in this game, which the splash just takes care of really nicely. And on top of that, the damage is also very high for what it is. The second is that the bomb, which we haven't seen yet, but once you see the bomb, is the best bomb in the game. It deals a huge amount of damage, gives a huge amount of iframes during which you can still shoot and damage the bosses, and best of all is that you can collect UFO tokens during those iframes without any movement penalties. So that allows you to set up UFO summons right after the bomb finishes. Once the bomb, if you summon during the bomb, then what's going to happen is that the wave of damage which comes at the end of the bomb is going to kill off the UFO. So that's not really what you want to be doing. You want to be summoning, you want to be setting up the summon right after the bomb finishes, which the bomb also helps with because the bomb clears the whole screen of bullets. So Sanaebi is generally considered to be the best 1cc shot. Reimu A falls slightly, well, it's debatable, but Reimu A does more forward focus damage, but you have to learn the stages a little harder, and the summons are a little more awkward. And there is one more reason for Sanaebi being so good, which is the shotgun damage. Sanaebi does the most shotgun damage of any shot in the game. and you can always shotgun during bombs, and on some spells you can just straight up shotgun. After a death, you even get to do a 3-power unfocused shotgun, because you have a lot of post-death iframes, especially during boss patterns, and Sanae does the most amount of damage in the game that any shot can deal by being shotgunning unfocused at 3 power. It's more damage than a focused 4-power shotgun, so all of those combined make Sanae like a very, very good shot to use for 1cc, but the prerequisite is that you need to build your resources and you still need to, like, you know, play UFO, so it would be nice to know all that when you're doing your attempts. Well, now you know. So when you do eventually go for UFO Lunatic, eventually, you'll have all of that in mind. Or if you want to go for like more 1cc's in this game, I guess, with Sanae. But the dodging so far actually looks very clean. Like the bombs are decisive, not wasteful either, and you do seem to know how to dodge like quite a few of these patterns. The resource count is really high for this point. You've summoned a lot of greens, which is okay. But yeah, focusing on the reds now is a good idea as well. Okay. This section you don't really have to dodge, you can just stay at the bottom middle. Oh, almost collected the blue there by accident. Alright. Kind of a risky grab there, but it's fine. Trading that out for a... Okay, missed a life piece, that's unfortunate. I would generally suggest that you pick up blue tokens during UFO summons as much as possible, because that cleans them off of the screen. So you don't have to worry about accidentally picking them up later, like, you know, here. Red. Pick up another red. Red. Okay, good. Kill off this UFO and you can get one more summon in before the stage ends. Summon? Never mind. Alright, just set up for the next stage then. Green, green, green! Pick up the green! Never mind. Never mind. It's fine, it's fine. Summons have been decent so far. I got a lot of resources going to Murasa. But this is the point where you start spending those resources in a typical 1cc as well, so let's see how well you do. Alright. Anchor is free. UFO Heart is generally considered to be the hardest hard mode of all of the different Touhou games. And I will agree with the assessment that UFO Heart is worse than Morph Lunatic, because I'm pretty sure that I got Morph Lunatic and even EOSD Lunatic before I got my UFO Heart 1cc. It's a huge difficulty jump from normal. And the jump from UFO Heart to Lunatic is ironically not even that high after this. Oh my god, okay, that was a really bad wave. Oh, UFO Lunatic's definitely more difficult than SA Lunatic. SA Lunatic, the patterns are overall slightly simpler, and the resource system is a lot more easy to work with. Like, it's just bombing and snowballing it. Yeah, SA Lunatic is not generally considered to be like a very high difficulty one. There goes the 4 corner strat. Having to dodge this, like, normally is really sketchy. The diagonal movements get very awkward sometimes. Ah! No! It was such a clean run up to this point. It's fine, it's fine. We still have a lot of lives, and stage 5 is another point where you can get a lot of summons. Okay, nice dodging. Yeah, get some greens. Summon, no. Good. Fills it up nice and comfortably, then we can get more greens for this stage. Or even reds actually. Just one red should be enough to get the next life, I think. Okay, we're fine, we're fine, we're fine! No, 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 no. It's okay though. Oh, no! Approached it from just slightly the wrong angle. Ah, that's unfortunate. Okay, okay. It's okay to not want to summon during this section. The movement is a little complicated. You might not get the tokens that you want. Look at the green. Nice. Alright. Blinded by the bomb? I guess that can happen. Not the caps I would be picking, but it works. Alright, this GT so far is okay. No, should have gone to the left. No! Oh my god, that last wave. Alright, summon, summon. Okay, good. Kill it off. We can get one more summon in before the end of the stage. Right? Is there one more token? I'm pretty sure there's one more. Oh no, there isn't. Okay. Oh no, not like that. Oh, that's painful. That's really painful. Alright, show show at 3 power. Yeah. Yeah, UFO hard patterns are really rough, especially in late game. Some of them are like only barely easier than Lunatic. And it's really hard to dodge these, which is where the resource piling in early game is like really important, because you are going to have to spend a lot of resources to skip many of these patterns. Really, that's like the difficulty of UFO survival, like stockpiling resources in early game, hoping not to lose too many of them going to late game, and then hoping those resources are enough to carry you through. But the more you practice late game patterns, the more like the chances of a 1cc are, I'd say. Alright, good, good. Using the safe spot here is smart. This non is actually quite nasty to dodge at the bottom. Alright, hopefully you know how to do RTG. First two movements are fine. Alright, we're taking the scenic time. We're taking a scenic route here then. Gonna be quite a few rotations before we can damage the spell. One more rotation. Ah! I had a feeling that was gonna happen when you started greeting for damage there. If you don't kill off the pattern when you greet for damage, then you're going to screw yourself on another, like just on the next immediate rotation. So generally speaking, I'd only do that once you're really confident you can kill off a spell. But yeah, that hurts. Ugh. Alright, stage 6. We still have 3 lives, and does Byakuran drop any life pieces? I don't think so, right? Oh no. Gonna need to summon a red to get this last life in. Oh, I didn't get the spell either. Ah, okay, that's good to know. Okay, 4 lives and 4 bombs. That should be a pretty comfortable 1cc still. Byakuran is difficult, but not so difficult that that's not gonna be enough resources. Like, this 4 lives and 4 bombs is absolutely enough resources to bomb through everything of Byakuran. Ah, didn't get the last UFO, but it wouldn't have done anything anyway. Yeah, this is a really well executed 1cc. They've definitely shown that they know what they're doing. They're getting good summons everywhere. They have a good route. And they know how to dodge like most of the patterns. It's just the execution is sometimes a little bit off and then you die, but you know, that happens with 1ccs. Alright, Byakuran. This is it. I will say I have definitely train wrecked runs going into Byakuran before. I think one time I had 4 lives and 2 bombs going to Byakuran and I still managed to game over on Lunatic. But that was more because I just ended up derping really hard and not spending my resources, which you should not be doing. Sanai's beast bombs are really good. Use them. Alright, good omen. Not a great start. Not a great start. Okay, second on. Oh, doing the micro strat. Okay, good bomb. Magic butterfly should be a cap. It should be easy enough. Unless you don't have a route for this, which you really should. Yep, good cap. Full power, third non. Third non can get quite nasty sometimes, but it's not anywhere near as difficult as it'd be on normal. Nice. Okay, banana lasers. No, not that. It's fine. Good bomb. You want to be a little higher than that, generally. Okay, fourth non. Nice shotgun at the beginning. That's a good damage strat, and then we're gonna kill off Byakuran before she even, you know, gets to the bottom. That's the benefit of Sanaebi right there. Alright. No bombs now, so just dodge. Let's see how good your dodging is. So far so good. But this is where the difficulty kicks in. Nice! Alright, air scroll. Oh, did not follow her to the left. Yeah. I've not actually tried to dodge air scroll on the other side before. Because generally it's just gonna be really awkward. And you miss out on a huge amount of damage as well. But it's okay. Just bomb through it. You've got enough resources to just bomb and clear now. Ah! Nice death bomb. Alright, full power, LFS. LFS has a bit of a quirk where most bombs cannot erase bullets cleanly on it, including Sanabi's bomb. That said, you still do a huge amount of damage to Byakuran. So, like, yeah, this is definitely in the bag. It's unfortunate that you didn't know how to do the Sana. Oh no, no, no. Please bomb, please bomb. Okay. Okay. When I said huge amount of damage, I meant that your shot, that it still cleans out enough bullets that you can still do damage to Byakuran. But if you die like this, it's going to be way closer. Oh dear. That should not have been so close, but that derp death on LFS was really scary. And especially for the beginning of the fight as well. One accidental death on Good Omen before you even got the bomb one time. That was really bad. Generally speaking, the run would have also been more comfortable if you used the unfocused shotgun with the 3 power. But regardless, it's a clear, and it's a pretty clean one at that. Got a little sloppy at the end, but you know, nerves and stuff, it's understandable. Yeah, really good 1cc. This is one of the this is the most difficult hard 1cc. So you are, I don't know how many 1cc's on Lunatic you've gotten, but you're definitely capable of getting quite a few of the Lunatic 1cc's at this point. Yeah, really nice run, GG's. We're gonna move on now to LOL-K with a Lunatic run. Lunatic no bomb run. Give me a second, I'll set things up. LOL-K is always going to be quite the treat to watch. The game is quite something. It's quite something, alright. Alright. Let's check the run notes. There it is. Alright, skip to stage 2. Alright. All LMB in Windows era. Nice. Yeah, it makes sense that LOL-K LMB would be your last one. It is I mean, you get a lot of resources, you get a lot of lives, but it is still a very tricky LMV just because of how difficult the late game is. So, let's see how you do. Reimu, as expected. I would not expect. I mean, non-Reimu LMVs are quite rare, and they are very difficult as well. So, for those who don't know, I'm just gonna quickly introduce the resource system in LOL-K. Every stage section and boss fight are split into chapters, and every single time at the end of the chapter you get a chapter finish bonus. If you have more than 200 grays, that's specifically if your grays count times the enemy shootdown rate, which is going to be out of 100%. If that total multiplier is more than 200, then you're going to get a life piece. And you only need 3 life pieces to get an extra life in LOL-K. It was 5 in the demo, but it actually got buffed to what it is now. Oh, I forgot to stop fast forwarding. So, what are these devs? Do your Reimu, please. So the gist of Loke is pretty much just graze, or at least graze a little bit during stage sections, and then after that you'll want to shoot down as many enemies as possible. And if you do that well enough, you're gonna get the life pieces, and you're gonna get a lot of life pieces. The trick with 1cc's for this game is that with Sanae and Raisin, your bombs are going to make it easier for you to graze, while also giving you survival benefits. And you can bomb one time per chapter, get a life piece. If you get a life piece on every chapter, you can get a life out of it, and then when you die, you get those 3 bombs back, which effectively creates an infinite loop. And every time that you get a life piece without bombing, it's just going to keep adding to your total life counter. So that's how you want to do your 1cc, so with just a lot of bombs and a fair amount of grazing as well. LMB obviously does not have that option, but LMB will still want to get at least 200 graze on boss chapters and try to shoot down enemies as much as possible and get those graze, because every life piece is still going to help with just how difficult this game's patterns are. Any extend is going to be important. Alright, Dango influence. Ooh, okay, that got a little spooky at the end. If I remember correctly, it may have been score extends in the first demo, but then there was another demo which definitely had life piece extends, and it was 5, with the chapter system in place, it was 5 life pieces for an extend. But yeah, it then got buffed for the full game to 3 life pieces on an extend. And if it was still at 5, Low K1cc would be the most difficult 1cc in the series, probably. Well, maybe below Pod, but you know, Pod doesn't really count nowadays. Not for Windows era, at least. Alright, really nice cap of Lunatic September there, actually. But we're gonna go into stage 3 now. Life count isn't looking so great, but I mean, there were some deaths on stage 2. I was not expecting a death to a streaming section on stage 2, especially with Reimu, but you know, dumb stuff happens. You can still keep going with a run like this. Okay, nicely done. But it's very difficult to get the life pieces on stage 3. Not only because there are some sections where you do not want to be killing enemies, but also in general, there's not really that many like tidy bullet clumps for you to graze, and grazing is going to be significantly riskier from this point onwards. Dorami is still going to be quite easy to get 200 graze on, it's just a lot of bullets on Lunatic. Oh, but you do have to stop firing a little bit. Ah, never mind. Just getting through the pattern is good enough. Okay. Dorami really doesn't want to get killed. This won't be a timeout, but yeesh, took a really long time. Alright, this section is a free graze. If you don't want to dodge this section at all, you can just stick it in the top right corner and none of the enemies can hit you. And there won't be any bullets. Same for this part where you just stay in the top left. But if you do want to get a life piece here, then you do have to graze at least a little bit, so yeah. It's all streaming anyway, so completely free, very easy life piece to get. Right. That... Yeah. Okay. I... That's not really, like, a good way of doing that, it feels. Narumi's first non, alright, this is a glitched wave. Yep. It's just stupid. First spell... Ironically, the Doremi spells are much easier than the non-spells, so... at this level, I'm fully expecting, like, full caps on Doremi spells. I mean, you could die, but it would be like entirely your fault, you know? Nice dodging on second non so far. If you go off-road on Dream, yeah, it can happen as well, but again, you went off-road. Ocular Delusion is literally a gimme spell, so... Yep, nice cap. Third non... Ooh. Nice dodges. Very nice. Dreamcatcher. This spell is routable, but there are difficulties in like Dreamcatcher. There are difficulties in executing the route because the reflections of the lasers are going to differ quite greatly based on your position, and if your position is off by too much, then it can completely change the pattern of the spell. This applies to the bullets that spawn on Lunatic as well, and I think hard as well. Anyway, final is static, so yeah, nice and free cap. Okay, stage 4. Stage 4 opener is almost impossible to get this life piece on. Just focus on survival. Okay, laser spam section is actually aimed. Or at least angled based on your position, so there is a way to do it completely static, like that. Don't I usually skip stage 4? Well, I haven't done TRS in a long time, so I don't know what the traditions are for modern TRS. But that was a death to a streaming section, which is unfortunate. Almost got get by a pellet there. Sagame's mid-non is not very difficult. If the orbs don't die when you like shoot, sometimes they'll get to the bottom of the screen and just wall you off. You actually manage to clip through one wall and then die to the second one, which is unfortunate. This section, it's all aimed, so just tap. What do you mean, Weskastari? He just showed up. Didn't you see him? He just killed off, Sabinian there. Alright, it's gonna be the Sagame fight now, which is pretty straightforward, so give me a second, I'll go get something. Alright, I'm back. Apparently first one was quite threatening, which, I mean... The thing about Sagame Nons is that you have to kill off the Yin Yangs at least a little bit to make sure that they don't spiral out of control at the bottom of the screen. But, Reimu's needles are the weakest shot in doing that, by far, so I can definitely see it happening. Anyway, second on the quite simple, you just do a little bit of misdirecting and then you kill it pretty quickly. Third spell is safe spotted. Alright, and then the final. The final actually, for dodging wise, it's actually quite consistent because the way the pattern unfolds is very predictable, so it's not really a spell that you would expect to die to very often. The way the lasers like form the gaps is a very predictable and readable manner. So if you just do the same reading, do the same dodging every time, there is like almost no difficulty to this final spell. Okay, stage 5 and Reimu is going to trivialize quite a few parts of this stage, thankfully. Resource count is looking pretty good now actually, we've built up quite a lot in stage 4, despite some of the weirder deaths, but you know. Again, with LMB sometimes you just want to get a run in, so you continue with some dumb deaths and don't want to reset. Loki's a really long game. There's a lot of lives, so anything can really happen. I can definitely understand that. Alright, this route looks clean. Going onto the torch. This part's actually just streaming, by the way, so that mid boss is literally free. So for shots that are not Reimu, this section is hell because they have to deal with the fairies firing a lot more lasers. So they have to do some weird oh, nice! Got in the safe spot. But the laser section previously... what was this? What's this? I've not seen this strat. Alright, it was... Yeah! Alright. Unfocus? Unfocus? You turn this section from a Reimu advantage into a Marissa section. But okay, yeah, you actually don't have enough power to control that properly, yeah. You did not hit Amogus. Our final section of the stage, Reimu again has quite the advantage on it if you are able to stay unfocused for long enough periods of time. What is this? I'm gonna be honest, this run's deaths have been really strange. But this is bad. Only 4 lives going to Clown Feast. How are you gonna get through Junko like this? At least Clown Feast isn't moving down, so the first one is okay. Right, first survival, very easy. Should not die. Okay. Don't usually go into the gap, but it's fine. PH is stage 6. It's Junko's final spell. Extra's boss fight is Hakatia. Junko does show up halfway through, but she doesn't have like very interesting spells in that stage, honestly. Oh, she moved down. Oh no, yep. Ah, she's still so low. What's she doing? Okay, she moved back up. Oh no, no, no. Clown Piece, please. Clown Piece nons are a dumpster fire. This RNG isn't looking so nice. Alright, still looking good. Oh, but not doing damage because you're being forced away from Clown Piece. Jeez. Is this gonna be a timeout? No, 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 you're gonna kill it in time, but jeez. Alright, almost got killed off by that bullet at the end there, but alright. This is the breathe-in on for this fight. Well. Okay, Grey's Inferno. It's routed, so if you just follow your route properly, then it should not have too many difficulties. But it's easier said than done. Very nice. Okay, Striped Abyss is free. And then Apollo Hoax Theory, which is also very easy for a stage 5 survival. Okay, that's the one awkward dodge, and the spell's over. Alright, we've got 6 lives in the Junko, in the stage 6, so less rain. Is this enough? With the rain life piece, assuming 1 death to rain, the rain life piece, and then getting life pieces from the post mid boss, hopefully, then it's might get enough to get another life before Junko. It's gonna just come down to how well you do Junko, pretty much. Junko is a very difficult boss fight, so if things go very badly, then it can train wreck. But I mean, we know that you want CC'd, so it's just gonna be how many lives you clear with, pretty much. Oh god! That's a very that misdirect strat is not something that I've seen really, and pretty much the one bullet that will kill you when you do that kind of misdirect did kill you, so yeah, unfortunate. Junko. First non is just aligning against the enemy marker at the bottom of the screen, so it should not be very difficult. But at this point, it's entirely possible to be on nerves, and then the micro taps that you will have to do, you might screw up. So, really, any deaths on Junko are not really that surprising. Though, I mean, there are some patterns which are still free, like this one. Why? Why? I mean, there's more lives than it seems because of how many lives you're gonna get during the fight, but second one is about alignment. You have to move and angle yourself relative to Junko, but it's otherwise static. Sometimes the RNG can be bad and you get forced to dodge against the wall. Dude, you don't... barely 200 grace as well. What? Oh, okay, that's a strat. No! Why? Why? This Junko fight is actually a train wreck. Oh my god, almost ran into the Lily there. Move, move, move! Oh! This is a disaster. This is actually a disaster so far. This non is stupid. Ah! What's... Oh no. MDSW is trash. You pretty much just have to like try to read the wave before it unfolds, and during its unfolding, to find gaps. There are some fireballs which have smaller hitboxes than others. The yellow fireballs have smaller hitboxes, but yeah, yellow and red if I'm not wrong. Okay, jump rope non can get very bad sometimes. So far it's okay. Alright. TSS. On nerves I can imagine this being really difficult, but okay, yeah, it's you have to be nervous on this non. Pristine Lunacy is it's about reading the lasers pretty much. There are ways of reading the lasers based on how they curve inwards, so you can then predict where they're gonna be for pretty much their entire screen time. It's just about adapting to the different RNG angles that the pattern can give you. Don't ask why I have 0 of 2 history. Okay, the survival is like really easy, so you just need to move out of the ring before it starts homing in. And then near the end of the spell, you just dodge a little bit. Alright, here we go. 3 lines for PDH. It's more than enough for the clear, but if it wasn't for if you didn't cap stuff like Pristine Lunacy and MDSW, then this would be a hell of a lot closer. And the final non. That train wreck at the beginning of the fight was just absolutely abysmal. I honestly I've not seen as many, like I've not seen as bad of a train wreck on Junko before. Alright, P4. Nice dodges. Really nice LMV there. I mean, the whole run is just weird deaths. Yeah, the whole run is just weird deaths everywhere, but you got it. And you clearly know what you're doing, so good job. Really nice run. Yeah, my throat's already dying. Alright. Very, very impressive run so far. We've got only 2 more runs to go, and Dagoth has said that he can join in, so we'll have him in after this next run, where we're finally doing our last UFO run of the day. It's UFO Reimu A Lunatic. No other specifications it looks like, so we'll see what kind of run it is. Our shot type is Reimu A, which is the other good shot type for survival. Alright, let's check the run notes. Whatever, dude. Alright. We're gonna do the usual skips through to stage 4. Let's get started. So, Rimway compared to Sanaebi. She has a very much a forward focused needle shot. But the benefit is that it does a lot more damage, which means that it can kill off boss patterns much faster. It's very significant. Boss patterns are very difficult in UFO. So just being able to kill it faster means that you have like lower chances of dying overall. This is yeah, not grabbing tokens. This is a no token run. Is it an LMBN? Well, not an LMBNV. I have to assume it is, just based on how well they're dodging so far. Yeah, it looks like a no bomb, no UFO run. Alright, let's see where they die then. UFO LMBNV is a category where you have only 5 lives for the whole game. So you have to get a 5 miss run or lower. The number of places where you can miss is limited, so it's gonna be fun to see where exactly they die to. Well, if they die, that is. But so far, very clean Ichirin. Very clean early game, honestly. Alright, stage 4. Let's see. What's that FPS? What happened to the FPS counter there? What the hell? So if you're doing a no token run, V stands for Ventura, which means token in Japanese. So if you're doing a no token run, it's actually advisable to not kill off some enemies if their patterns are manageable, because that will allow you to not have to worry about one extra token on screen. The thing about tokens is that usually they won't hit the bottom of the playfield, which is where you'll usually be. But when they fly off of the screen, once their on-screen timer expires, they can actually go into that region. And if you're unlucky, sometimes it's just gonna fly into you at the bottom of the screen when you're walled in. So ideally, you're not going to want that to happen. So there are optimizations you can do where you can choose to not fire at certain enemies to make sure that they don't drop their UFO tokens. Yeah, you can see here they did not choose to kill off those enemies. The purple Yin Yang Orbs drop UFO tokens, so by not killing them off, you don't have to worry about their tokens anymore. What is this dodging? Yep, did not kill off the UFO fairy either. Yeah, really clean stage section so far. They're like clearly speed killing the things that they need to, and then not killing the things that they don't need to, so that it's overall as little risk as possible for the stages. Murasa's non-spells are all static. She has random movement, but other than that you can just make the same dodges every time relative to where she is, and it will always work out. Yeah, if you start playing Touhou, and even if you don't clear, we also do accept replays, and we're always welcome to have low level replays as well. Like we always have a lot of newer player submissions in our queues. It's always a welcome sight. Like, high level plays are impressive to watch and all, but if it's the only thing you get to watch on TRS, then it can get boring. So it's always nice to have the refreshing lower level difficulties showcased. Alright, Vortex is looking quite easy. Yep, really good RNG. Dude, we had 2 weeks ago when I did my first returning TRS, PopFan submitted a Warborg Lunatic 1cc, which involved 0 dodging and all bombing and hyper spamming, and not even optimally. It was still one of the more entertaining runs of that TRS to watch, so there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. This Ghost Harbor so far looks pretty nasty, but nice dodges. Alright, 4 corner strat. 1. Yeah, it's set up, nice. It's not literally no dodge, but the run involved almost no dodging whatsoever. It was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago on a Sunday. This 4 corners got messed up. Oh no. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Alright. So far, it's NNN so far actually. So we've got a no miss, no bomb, no Ventura run into stage 5. How does the queue spreadsheet work? The red ones are the runs that have already been shown. The green runs are the runs that have been requested to be only shown on Saturdays when Gastari is around. The cyan runs are the runs that are being shown on the next TRS or the current TRS for the context of today. And the yellow runs are the runs that are to be shown on Saturdays regardless of whether Gastari is around or not. And there are some runs marked bluish, which is runs to be shown on Sundays. You can actually see like the legend for the runs in the colors explained table. Alright, Nazarene. Okay, not so nice. Alright, let's see how this GT is. GT is one of the most infamous patterns in UFO Lunatic. It's incredibly random, incredibly dense. Sometimes you get walled, very little you can do about it. So far it's okay RNG, got forced to the side. Okay, and Rainway is gonna actually pick it off before I have to dodge anything else. Very nice. Spam section. Spam section of Rainway can get a little spooky because of how close the enemies get before when they fire off these fireballs. Eee! Alright. Nice stage 5. And this is NNN into show actually. Okay, shows first non. RTG is not too difficult. Oh no. It's kind of weird that they died to RTG but not GT, but it can happen. Alright, second non is very bad, very bad. Oh my god, that dodge! Okay. Aura AOJ is actually kind of simple, so it's pretty much just about like how much damage you can do to show, because she's moving around constantly, which your forward focus shot cannot always hit. That dodge was kind of spooky. Feels like that would have been like them getting walled in if they didn't kill off show at that moment. Turn on safe spot as usual. Okay, don't get kicked. If you fire off when you're at the bottom right of show, then what's gonna happen is that she can ram straight into you while moving to the middle of the screen. Okay, pretty clean Vajra. Nice cap. And the final. Oh, wow. What was that? Okay. Alright, we have only a 1 miss run so far. This is a very, very impressive run. Not marked or anything on the submission, so place your bets on how many misses is actually gonna be. Byakuran is a high point of this run. Very difficult patterns, so place your bets on what they're gonna die to and how many misses they're gonna end up having. I mean, we're assuming that they don't bomb because it's very clearly so far an LMB and V run. But it would be kind of funny if they just decided to bomb at the end of the run or something. Alright, this section is completely free. There is some risk involved when you want to do your summons on this section, but if you want to do pure survival, yeah, sit in the middle. New A ball is static. Both this and the stage 4 New A ball are static, so if you know how to do it one time, you should be able to do it every time. Should is the key. Alright, very clean. Yeah, New A ball is static. Okay, first non is very easy. But we're gonna jump right into one of the most difficult patterns in the game. Good Omen. Let's see how they do. Nice first wave. Oh, okay. Nice. Second non, they're gonna do the micro strat. This always looks so spooky, no matter which strat you're doing on this. Alright, nice cap, magic butterfly. This is a purely routing static spell. Nice. Okay. Third non. Third non can get kind of nasty sometimes, but usually it's fairly tame. And now we have Milky Way Galaxy or something? I don't remember the actual name of the spell, but yeah, this is how you want to be dodging this spell. This is the right height, and then you can just do a left-right movement to dodge this aim stuff, or you can even move up and down. But yeah, very nice. Do a little bit of unfocused shotgunning, it deals more damage than the focus. And then kill off Byakuran. Never mind. We have to do circling, but still circling is not very difficult, so it's fine. Okay, DR. Nice cap. Alright, superhuman. If you just follow her to the left side here, you can do a lot of damage and kill off the spell on this next wave. And no, one more wave. Move to the right? Never mind. She's gonna go back to the left. Yeah, here. Okay. LFS. Yeah, this is gonna be either one miss or train wreck LFS. The dodging has been really clean, so other than that one unfortunate death on RTG, which felt like a derp to me, it doesn't feel like they're gonna die to anything else, honestly. Oh my god, it's a one miss no bomb. To RTG of all things as well. It's that's a really high level run, yeah. Capped pretty much everything actually, so was not expecting this when I saw the submission. It was not annotated or anything, it just says Lunatic Survival. So yeah. Really well done. I have to wonder who this player actually is though. Yeah, GG's. Okay, we've got one final run of the day and it's a scoring run. So Dagot, if you wanna hop into the VC now, it's now be a good time. It's gonna be a GFW score run. Hello. Hello. Hello? Is your mic on?
Hello.
Hello. Yeah. Alright, GFW scoring.
How do we watch together? Do you stream on Discord?
If you want, we can do like syncing the starting of the run, since we're not skipping anything, yeah.
Let's try that, yeah. Although my computer may lag a bit, so I may
Oh.
get behind a little.
It's okay. It's not gonna be that much either. Alright, OBS please. Oh my god. Alright, yeah. Do you want to do the countdown?
I'll just wait a bit, I need to open the game.
Alright.
I'm not sure if I even have the replay. Okay, it's there.
Yeah, GFW lunatic scoring is one of the more interesting lunatic scoring categories. It's got a very involved system, and the gameplay is very different from your standard one, from your standard Touhou. You can hear that. It's fine.
Okay, I have the replay.
All right. Once you're ready, 3, 2, 1, go.
Go.
Okay. So briefly explaining GFW scoring system. Freeze enemy bullets, get as much surface area as possible, and that's your score.
Yeah, that's it. The bigger the freeze, the more score you get. It's kind of exponential, and you also get more bombs. The perfect freeze, which is the third number from the top you see on the right.
Yep, it's at 63% right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and bombs are used for scoring because they freeze differently from the normal freeze, and you can get a lot of score in places where a normal freeze wouldn't score that much. And other than that, freezes also give you lives by damaging enemies, and you get a ton of lives in this game, even though it's a relatively short one. You get around 22 extends in total, something like that.
Yeah. Lives are represented by a percentage. It's the first percentage at the right side here. It's actually motivation. At 100% extra, you get the extra life. When you die, you take away 100%. So the freezing mechanics works by Cherno having this percentage above her. That's her charge level, and you can charge faster by either doing a focus charging, sort of similar to the photo games, or by shooting enemies. And it doesn't matter how much damage you're doing, as long as you're hitting with any shot, then you'll get the faster charge, and grazing as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so you want to shoot with the corner, so you don't spend too much health bar of the bosses, because you want the patterns to last as long as possible, so you can milk in general, and you also want to be careful to not damage with your freezes sometimes, depending on the health bar.
You can see here that the bomb is the perfect freeze, consumes 100% of the perfect freeze gauge, and does a sort of a delayed instant full screen freeze, which is very useful for some patterns and will be used extensively in the run for farming like 80-90% freezes, which give a huge amount of score.
You can also freeze fireballs, which you see starting from stage 2.
Yeah.
There aren't any in stage 1. But yeah, talking about the run, this stage 1 is not very... I'd say it's not very difficult to do on a basic level. There's a lot of optimization possible, but the difference isn't that huge, I'd say. There's little randomness, and but this game has... it's not a very consistent game since due to the mechanic, you know. Like, freeze can change a lot just by moving a bit or just with a different timing of releasing the freeze.
Yeah, the freeze works by every individual frozen bullet will freeze another bullet if it gets close enough, but sometimes the pattern spawns randomly in a way that it's just not close enough, so the freeze doesn't connect and stuff, and you can end up getting screwed over by our randomness sometimes. Also something to do with 30% freezes giving more motivation.
Yeah, it's like if you get over 30%, you get 20% of perfect freeze. So it's like and if you get just under, you get 10%. So it's a very like a very important threshold for some points of the run. Like if you don't get the enough big freezes, you miss a bomb, or you have to skip a bomb, which makes a big difference in score.
That death there is actually intentionally timed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, by dying after a freeze, you can reduce damage. It's something you can also see with Marisabi in DDC, for example, to reduce damage from the bomb.
It's also used extensively in lower difficulty hit surface runs, where dying will cause the freeze to do much less damage to the boss, so it's quite useful in its own way.
Yeah, this is your main way of using your surplus lives, I would say. Extra lives that otherwise, because I say you get around 22 extends, but you can only get up to 10 at a time, so you want to spend them somewhere. And dying also gives you 25% of perfect freeze, so 1/4 of a bomb. So you don't get as many bombs back from dying as you do in other games.
It also sets your freeze gauge back to 100% if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, that's also important.
But yeah, this stage one, I mean, this is the world record level score, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I did a small mess up. I wanted to do a non-damaging freeze, but yeah, I ended up killing the boss with a low freeze in the end.
Yeah, the exact percentage at which you release the freeze is also important sometimes.
Yeah, it's kind of ambiguous depending on the boss position and how much freeze power you have. How will things end up? Like, it's really hard to predict exactly how the freezes behave in general. But it's also part of what may make you like this game for scoring, having some improvisation.
In general, I'd say that this game's patterns are all like built very nicely to be frozen and scored.
Yeah.
There are some exceptions, but generally it's like a very well designed game overall.
Yeah, even with small freezes, like pattern, when you do small freezes, it still matters because you can still get a lot of perfect freeze.
Oh, was
like
that
a 10% freeze.
Was that intentionally like a tiny freeze or?
Oh yeah. You don't want to damage the boss with that, since she has just the right health bar to do a few big freezes.
Okay, dying here prevents the damage.
Yeah, here you do want to die twice on the boss. And with that you can get 2 bombs on the next pattern.
Also the shotgun grazing to charge the freeze faster. And then bomb here.
Yeah, not 30%, but it's fine still.
Oh, she's a bit too far to the left.
Yeah.
Yeah, Touhou boss RNG.
Yeah, it's 2 out of 3, but yes, sometimes you just won't go in the right direction.
Generally speaking, you will want to drag out patterns, just because, you know, more bullets, so more freezing.
Yep. So here just a small freeze to not kill the big fairy.
Nice.
And then get a bigger one, since she remains alive, she stays alive.
Okay.
So here comes the hardest part of the run, maybe, since you have to micro those rings and then freeze at a quite precise timing and position, which can influence your score a lot, relatively speaking. And if you die, you miss a big freeze of around over 500k. So
Yeah.
you really don't want to die here.
Dying is
So
like
what?
minus a 70% freeze, which is kind of
Yeah, otherwise dying isn't that big of a deal in this game. Like maybe you miss a suicide and a bomb somewhere after a few deaths. But otherwise it mostly depends on the pattern if you miss a freeze in between. And yeah, this one went pretty well.
yeah.
Yeah, this death was a complete brain fart.
She just ran into the ring.
Yeah, well, I thought I was large enough, and I didn't, so I didn't freeze the stars, and I ran into it.
Oops. Oh well.
Yeah, thankfully the route I use for the resource route I use allows for one extra death. Yeah, one death for freeway, so it's okay. Spoilers, but yeah.
Yeah, circular hitboxes on GFW.
Kirby is asking if I have any backup bombs. No, I don't, because I never really have too many bombs, and well, for this route I don't really have extra suicides to use. What I could, but it's kind of risky, so I don't really have anything like that. But I have routes if I don't have enough resources, however. Although I couldn't PB with while doing backup routes right now, I think.
So might also be worth mentioning just the items in this game. They're only worth 1000 normally. If you kill an enemy by freezing it, by the freeze damage, then it'll drop frozen items which auto-collect and are worth 4000 points each. It's not that much, it sounds, but it'll add up quite quickly. And this includes boss patterns as well, boss spells.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, on this pattern, it can be hard. It's kind of a pain if she moves too far to the side, and you can try to graze through the ice before the bullets get frozen, but it's a little risky.
Yeah, so you can pretty much just, as the bullets get frozen, they lose their hitboxes, so you can move into where they were, and then you can try to graze the bullets that are yet to be frozen next to them, but of course if you move too much then you just run into the bullets, so...
Yeah. And then there's this final spell, which is probably the most random thing in the whole route, I would say. So yeah, 52, like you can get 70 or 52 all of a sudden. And yeah, like to begin with, starting position where she starts to spin can change a lot. Because you can end up with a shitty freeze at the end, not enough time for a big freeze.
There's ways to adapt to like the RNG on this spell, right?
Yeah, you can like bomb 2 times or something. And after that she fires a pattern which is fixed, but she has several different patterns she can fire. And after that the stars kind of they kind of move randomly a little bit, but they can change how the freeze ends up a lot.
It's like the perfect example of what we mentioned earlier, where like sometimes the bullets are just slightly too far apart and then the freeze doesn't connect through and then you lose all of the score.
Yeah.
Alright, stage 3, there are lasers on this boss fight onwards, which will break your ice and then spawn random pellets that fly quite quickly in random directions, which very rude sometimes.
So you just want to get the items from those fairies, since they give a lot.
Again, 4000 per frozen item, which there's a lot of items dropped, so It's also going to be very relevant on the boss fight itself because the boss fight is all 3 fairies fighting, and on the non-spells you can shoot. No, not just the non-spells. On almost every pattern, you can shoot down the non-main fairies, and they will also drop a lot of items.
Yeah. Also, it's only per health bar. So like if you kill the fairies on the non-spell, then they don't drop any items on the spell after.
Ah.
Yeah. Thankfully, because on some spells it would be a little
nightmarish. Yeah. But yeah, there's the freezing here is specifically trying to avoid the lasers, so you don't. Not only you don't lose all of the freeze from the lasers breaking the ice, but also just to avoid as many of the random bullets as possible.
Yeah. Ideally, yeah, you do a late freezing, but that means you have to
dodge
more bullets. Yeah. So you can freeze earlier for to have an easier time, but you lose on score. You can also graze in between the waves to not deal as much damage.
Oh no, that was intentional.
Yeah.
Alright, this
you
spell.
Graze a lot. Yeah. You can even do this one without sliding.
This spell feels like a mess. It's just.
Yeah, I just want to freeze right at the last time, so you have and then freeze very quick afterwards.
Might be the only spell in the game where the spell bonus matters.
There are a few others, but yeah, you can't really milk it. The freezes are just too low.
Yeah. Perfect freezes here. Fireballs are quite fat, gives a lot of freeze area.
Yeah. Yeah, this would be the worst place to die at.
Yeah. Dying clears the whole screen of bullets without giving any score or anything, so it's very bad.
And then this section with the knife rings is pretty fun. It's mostly about. Also, there's a random rotation in how the knives are disposed. But yeah, it's fun. It was mostly clean. Although I missed a 30% freeze, so that kind of sucks.
Alright, that looks pretty clean actually. Like, not really any noticeable mistakes, just from the first glance. Okay, 3 fairies. So yeah, Luna and Star here can be... Wait, no, that's not Star. Is it? No, that is Star. Luna and Star here can be killed off, and they will drop a lot of items. So what's gonna be done here is that they're gonna be killed off using the freeze damage, and yeah, that's a lot of score.
Yeah, I have a route to kill them, like having some precise ice power.
Intentional suicide.
Yeah. Yeah, such 3 times here. Yeah, I thought it would deal more damage. A bit far.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, it's actually a lot of score, like 100k drops.
Also, I guess it's a good time to mention it now, but I mean, you're gonna get it. But you have to finish this boss fight at max lives, at 1000% motivation. The clear bonus in this game is huge, so you need to get that as maxed out as possible. It's like half your score.
Yeah, you don't want to do too many survival mistakes, especially not at the end. Even though the end is what's the hardest. Well, not exactly, but there are 2 hard battles at the end. And yeah, here you want to kill the fairies and then freeze the revenge bullets to hopefully get over 30%. And you actually want to get to 220% perfect freeze entering the next non, so you can get 1 more bomb. But it's going to be tight here.
Seems kinda hard.
Yeah, because I miss 30% on the stage section, otherwise it's a lot more easy.
1 more freeze? One more. Alright, got it.
So yeah, the timing isn't too precise, but you don't want to mess it up either. Otherwise it's not too bad, whether it's dodging wise or even freezing. For freeze precision, it's not too hard. And you also want to graze the bullets to get a bit more freezing power.
That's why. Yeah, that last 20% from that one freeze that didn't kill off those enemies is lets you get one more very big perfect freeze off.
Yeah.
And just enough time to kill off this pattern. This spell, yeah, just
Yeah, it's funny. It's pretty random, and you want to get the 30% here too. And yeah, it's kind of based on your intuition. There's also a rhythm. I'm not sure how to say, but you want to freeze such as your eyes doesn't get melted by the lasers, and sometimes you have to do a smaller freeze, depending on how you kill the side fairies. I mean, on how fast you kill them. Thankfully, it went pretty fine, even though my PF was kind of low.
oh, not getting the 30%. The RNG is just
Yeah.
a little bit not great.
But it's not that. It's not too unforgiving, thankfully. Yeah, I don't need to get exactly 300% to get the bomb out, thankfully, so I can still pull it out. So on this non, you have to suicide 4 times, and you have to suicide on the fireballs. If you suicide on the fairies, it is too much damage still. And it's kind of hard sometimes because the fireballs hitbox is not that big. So you can find yourself trying to suicide and failing to do so, and then the fairies die earlier than planned, and you don't get all the bombs you wanted.
One more suicide here is gonna get 300% charge. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, I would have 300% if I had all my PF entering the non, but it's still fine.
Still just really big freezes here. And then Elfin Canopy is literally just another farming pattern if you kill off the side fairies.
Yeah, so you can use the side fairy by shooting at it to get more ice power and milk for a bit longer. And you can also use the revenge bullets to get over 30%.
Here you're dashing up along with the freeze to like graze the bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not very risky, thankfully, but it can happen to die if you go a bit too early.
Also don't want to ram into Sunny.
Yeah. You don't want to fade too often, otherwise you'll time it out.
Alright, almost freeze is gonna kill it off, so
and then this non is just hell. It's kind of kind of bullshit. Like you see those bullets moving in a curving weirdly.
yeah.
And sometimes it almost walls you, or you have to go through very tight gaps, or macro kind of see the thing coming and macro around. So it can be very very scary.
It feels like borderline impossible to react to sometimes.
Yeah, and getting a 30% is also random, sort of. Like there are some tricks to make the freeze a bit higher, but there's a lot of randomness in it. Yeah. And then a bomb at the end, another freeze.
Okay, Fairy Overdrive is a very technical pattern where you can influence the movement of the fairies, and if you do a specific freezing route, then you'll always be able to do it safely and efficiently. But if you go off
On
route,
this
then
one, the movement is fixed and fully. It's only on Luna that it's
ah,
it, yeah. You actually just go in a square, sort of, in a diamond.
yeah. There was 2 weeks ago I saw a run which completely flubbed Fairy Overdrive on A1, which was just really painful
Yeah,
to watch. But yeah,
yeah, because they make the green bullets into they turn into fireballs when the fairies pass. So you want to freeze before.
yeah, carve
What I
yourself a
do is
path.
yeah, a small optimization I do is after the big freeze I go for a smaller freeze. It's a bit risky because if you're late you eat a fireball instead. But it's important to get the fairies, the side fairies with a freeze and get the big points.
Yeah, they still drop a lot of point items.
Yeah, yeah. The big freeze is also kind of random depending on how the green bullets are placed.
Okay, final spell. You freeze a lot of bullets here, but it doesn't actually cover a lot of surface area. So this part is pretty much just about damaging the pattern until it gets to a
Yeah.
certain point.
Yeah, I just have about to damage the side fairies, and then the pattern gets what you see there are fireballs, and you have to freeze at a certain timing to make sure you don't make sure you don't hit the fireballs. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because otherwise it's pretty much impossible to dodge.
Alright, here goes. One more. And one last one. One final freeze. Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with that you kill all the fairies with a freeze, so you get the items.
Clear bonus is 43 million, which is only slightly lower than your actual score throughout the run. That's the world record for the A1.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
the fight is pretty long. It's like over 8 minutes. It's 1/3 of the run basically.
GG. That's it looked really clean overall. There's probably
Thanks.
like just some like optimizations here and there, like not getting 30% and stuff, but overall it looks like
Yeah, there are a few more bombs that could be added, but it requires more randomness or not doing the survival mistake.
yeah.
And there are some optimizations that could be done also. Like I played it relatively safe on the second boss, for example. You can gain lot more points by getting more lucky and taking more risks, basically.
But really, it's just it's one of the most like clear showcases of what Touhou scoring can really be. Like the randomness in this game forces you to adapt your routes on the fly to a degree, and that level of like adaptability and flexibility is
Yeah, yeah, it's important to really know what to do on each part of the run, even if there's not really anything super hard you do, but there's a lot of things to learn, and it's a quite short run in the end, so to say.
yeah. When it boils down to it, it's just that like Touhou scoring can really have a lot of depth to it, and especially GFW. And this is a very different game from the standard. Like no matter where you look in this game, the gameplay is always going to be very different. The scoring is always going to have quite a lot of depth to it. So yeah, it's a very interesting category to look at.
Hmm. Well, I'd say it's more similar maybe to HSIFS and POV maybe for the
Yeah,
canceling mechanics and the charging mechanic too. But yeah, that's that's still very different.
all right. So that's all we're gonna have for today's TRS. Next week, Gastari will most likely be back to do the 5 runs in a row that he's been requested to commentate. After that, I'll probably be actually doing every Sunday from this point onwards. So, yeah, I looking forward to it. next time we've got quite a few good runs as well. So those of you who haven't, or those of you who just joined in this time, we've got a Discord server. It's being posted by Nightbot every now and then. The link, I'm not sure if we can even post the link, honestly. Let me see. Yep, here's the link to our Discord server. It's the Touhou replay community. Very active Touhou gameplay community. Has a lot of Touhou gameplay discussion and other stuff. Very nice place overall. And if you have submitted stuff to TRS and you would like to get some changes to your submissions or things like that, just go to the channel and go to the TRS Inquiries channel to request whatever changes that you'd like to make. Other than that, yeah, we're pretty much done for today. Anything you want to say?
Well, thanks for having me, and thanks for the stream. See you another time, maybe.
Yeah, see you. And no problem, yeah. It's always quite fun to do these TRSs. I haven't done TRS in quite some time, and really there's a huge manpower shortage nowadays. There's nobody really willing to do Sunday TRSs, and the queue is piling up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have 2 months of runs to go through. So currently there is, again, for those of you who aren't aware, usually TRS is a 1 submission per month thing, but because of Touhou World Cup and other factors, the queue has backed up to the point where we've had to enforce a 1 submission per 2 month limit, which is still in place. So keep that in mind if you're doing your submissions, otherwise some of your submissions might be ruled invalid. Well, we will try to get through this queue as fast as possible, and hopefully then we can sort out a better situation on like our TRS hosting. Because right now we are still going through some pretty old submissions from, I mean, you submitted this on 30th June, which is like 2 months ago at this point. Yeah, that's all we have for TRS today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next Saturday and Sunday.